So today we're going to find out how to make an image transparent. So I have an older version of Adobe Photoshop, but a new version should be roughly similar. So first thing you want to do is get an image off the internet. Something that's high resolution is better. It doesn't matter if it's JPEG. So what you want to do, open it in Photoshop, hit Control A, select it, hit Control A, Control C, or select all and copy, and then go while it's being selected and copied, hit File, New, and then there'll be a title here. This will have the exact dimensions that you want for your new transparent image. So I would name it something like a puppy transparent. You should call it something like that. Make sure the transparent portion right here is that way. Hit OK. So then you'll have it'll be side by side. Notice it's the same size. So use the select button right here. Select the actual box. Hit Control V to paste. So this is your transparent image, although it doesn't appear like it is going to be. But right now, shortcut this one. You probably won't need anymore. Expand this one out. Then you want to take the magnifying glass and you want to zoom in. So now you want to use the eraser tool and you want to change the brush to much higher than 2. I'll say something like 50. Well, actually higher than that. I usually go really large at first, something like this, and then later change it. Go on the edges first, like this. It's like Bob Ross would say, these happy mistakes, that sort of thing. So go around the corners. You want to make sure if you're going to get the puppy itself and nothing else in the image, then you're going to have to get close in a minute. But right now, you get a good idea how this goes. First, you get the broad strokes first, and then we work into the final portion in a moment. Don't get too close, and the best thing, once in a while you want to lift up off the mouse in case you want to step backwards. Hit Edit, step backwards, or undo eraser. I usually use step backwards myself. But every so often you want to lift up off the mouse, just in case. Okay. Now we're going to change the size of the eraser to the brush to about this much, 33. It's much smaller. So then you do same thing, but closer. Getting those nooks and crannies. Also, it's a good idea to put a little bit of a footprint in portions that are a little harder to see when you zoom in or zoom out. So you want to make sure that if you expand it or make it smaller, you want to know that, hey, I should make this transparent. Sometimes it's not very obvious at different times. If you have a white puppy or a blonde puppy like this is, then you definitely want to, and there's something like a white flower or something, then you might not realize that's actually a flower until later on when you're... So now we'll get really close here. Now it gets interesting. So we'll get down to a real small font here for the eraser, and then we'll expand it zoom in one more time. This is where it gets interesting, like I said. So then you want to get really close, but not too close. And remember, every so often lift up off the mouse. Otherwise you will lose a lot of work. So you get the idea. You're really close. And with hair, it gets more difficult because then you have to make some hard decisions about where you actually are going to cut off the hair. Is that okay? What's the background? But that's quite a bit different than what I'm talking about here. So it's more of a subjective thing. So sometimes you actually want to leave an outline, a dark outline. It depends. If you really want to make it nice, you might want to just cut a little bit of hair off, and that sometimes it makes it a little bit easier. But if there's a white background, then you don't have to worry about that at all. So hair is one of the most difficult. Flowing hair in the wind is very difficult to do something about. Okay, so you get the idea. Then what you do, you hit File once you're totally done. And if you make mistakes, like I said, go to Edit, Step Backwards. I'll step back once. See, notice how it reappeared. If you want to step back more, like this. But once you're done, it also is a good idea once in a while to save it. And if you save it, then you can always roll back to, say, step 10 instead of, a few steps back. It won't go back forever. Or at least that's my understanding. In my experience, it won't. So hit File, Save As. Oops, sorry. Save As. And you want to save. Now, if it's Photoshop, it'll be a PSD, PDD. You don't want that normally. What you want is you want PNG. And it'll try to save it as a copy. I would save it as, say, transparent 2 and hit save. And I usually hit interlaced. In fact, almost every time. Hit OK. It works for me. So that's how you make a transparent image. And you can open it up and you'll see it's transparent. Okay. Thank you. This has been EmersusTech. It's been a pleasure to show you this. Thank you.